This is massive. The Knicks have just provided the biggest update this season on Mitchell Robinson and his rehab. But as one player gets closer to returning, another player has suffered a serious injury. And yes, I'm talking about OG Anunoby. We have some updates on the non-contact foot injury that he suffered during last night's game against the Los Angeles Lakers. We're going to break down all of these latest updates today. But before we get started, guys, about 54% of you watching this video right now are not subscribed to the channel. We are on a mission to try to reach 25,000 subscribers, and we could really use your support. If you enjoy daily Knicks content like this, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button because it could really support all the great content that we're creating for you. And now, let's get started. Mitchell Robinson is close to returning. OG Anunoby suffers a serious foot injury. After hearing the latest updates about Mitchell Robinson and where he was in his rehab, the fact that he was running and jumping, I knew it was only going to be a matter of time before he was cleared to the next step in his rehab process. And according to head coach Tom Thibodeau, he recently revealed that not only was Mitchell Robinson close to being cleared for full contact, yes, I said full contact, but he also revealed he is close to being cleared for full practice as well, too. Let's go ahead and break down these latest reports that we have from head coach Tom Thibodeau. Shout out to Knicks Videos and Ian Bagley for giving us the following information. According to them, Tom Thibodeau says that Mitchell Robinson is pretty close to being cleared for full contact. Ian Bagley states this again. Mitchell Robinson is pretty close to getting cleared for full contact / full practice. That's the next step in his rehab / return to the court. This is exactly what you want to hear about Mitchell Robinson. He is moving in the right direction. He is starting to clear all of the hurdles in his rehab, and he is close to being cleared for full contact and full practice. That is a huge update and a huge step for Mitchell Robinson. That means it's only a matter of time before he is cleared. He is on the court again for the Knicks, and he is blocking shots, getting those rebounds, and rewarding all these Knicks fans that have been patient and waiting for him to return to finally make his debut and do what he does best. And hopefully we see a healthy Mitchell Robinson, a consistently active Mitchell Robinson, but also a Robinson that has not missed a step. Hopefully he's looking the exact same on defense. He can block shots, get those offensive rebounds, because it is clear, especially after watching last night's game, we need consistent defense inside, a presence inside, a defensive anchor. That way our wings can focus on the perimeter and focus on those three-point shots. Because if we can do that, we'll be a better team. And it sounds like Mitchell Robinson is close. But even though he's close, I want to make sure we're clear here. Close does not mean next week. Close does not mean after All-Star break. Close means he is getting ready to return. But being ready to return and actually returning to the court are two different things. And shout out to NBA Insider with the New York Daily News, Christian Winfield, for giving us the following information on potentially when Mitchell Robinson will make his season debut. According to him, it doesn't sound like Mitchell Robinson will make his season debut before February 6th, the NBA trade deadline. And according to head coach Tom Thibodeau, with this comment and what he said recently, there is no urgency or rush for the Knicks to bring back their defensive anchor in Mitchell Robinson before or immediately after the All-Star break either. Honestly, I'm not shocked by this update. After everything that we just heard, the Knicks are not going to rush Mitchell Robinson back. They haven't rushed him back this entire season, so why would they do so now? They want to make sure he's fully healthy and ready to return, so when he does actually and eventually return, he doesn't miss a number of games. That tells me that the earliest that Mitchell Robinson will return for this Knicks team will be in early March, because that gives him enough time to clear practice, clear the contact restrictions, get cleared by the medical staff, and then come back to this Knicks team. But honestly speaking, he's moving on to the next step in rehab. He's looking healthy. We're hearing a lot of praise from a lot of NBA insiders and head coach Tom Thibodeau. So it seems like everything is going right in rehab as of right now. He's close to returning, and when he does return, I know he's going to have an impact off of this bench. And I can't wait to see what he does when he comes back to practice as well, too. And I wish we could just talk about the positivity here and just talk about the updates about Mitchell Robinson. But unfortunately, we have some other updates to talk about. And it's about OG Anunoby and that non-contact foot injury that he suffered last night against the Los Angeles Lakers. If anybody missed it or didn't watch the game, you missed a game where the Knicks did not show up defensively. And that really is the theme of that game. But one of the biggest issues that came out of that game is OG's injury. You saw it in that third quarter. About at the 10-minute mark, he catches a pass from Jalen Brunson. Looks like he's going to go up from a three, and then he can't finish that move. He goes down in pain, passes the ball, cannot get up. The Knicks quickly call a timeout. He gets up with the help of his teammates and LeBron James, and then he is limping back to the locker room. Initially, I am thinking the worst of the worst, but I don't want to say it out loud. I'm sure a lot of you can share my sentiments with that. I was waiting until we heard an update officially from the Knicks. And then when we got it, it eased some of my concerns, but it raised a lot of alarm bells as well, too. It got me to thinking, maybe they're only giving us this update right now because they don't know how severe of an injury it is. Let's break down the latest updates that we have about OG Anunoby's injury and the x-rays that he had and what the x-rays show about that injury. Shout out to New York basketball and NBA insider Steph Bondy for giving us the following information. According to them, Tom Thibodeau on OG Anunoby's injury. I haven't talked to medical yet. They just said he wouldn't be coming back. Sprained foot. Did he have x-rays done? Yes, they were negative. That is the most positive thing we can take out of all of these updates here. The fact that he had x-rays done and they were negative. He still has to get MRIs done. We know that. But at least these initial reports, the x-rays are negative. That is some positivity, and I'll take it. The media also asked Thibodeau, is he going to get MRIs? And according to Thibs, I don't know that. The media asked Tom Thibodeau, was the calf bothering OG Anunoby earlier? And Thibodeau stated, not sure. He went to get checked for something at the end of the half. NBA insider with the New York Post, Steph Bondy, mentions here, OG Anunoby has been dealing with calf soreness for a while this season too. And according to Knicks PR, they say that OG Anunoby has officially been diagnosed with having a right foot sprain. And that's what they're calling it as of right now. Legitimately, the worst case scenario has actually happened. A non-contact injury for a player like OG Anunoby is always going to be serious. And the crazy part about it is, he has been looking like the healthiest player on the team as of late. He has been playing well in the last 4 or 5 games. His defense and offense have taken another step. And I didn't think his defense could take another step, but it has. He has become an even better lockdown defender. He is always in the passing lanes, trying to get steals, running down the court, trying to get fast break opportunities. OG Anunoby legitimately has been a game changer for New York. If he misses anytime at all, the Knicks are going to be a worse team because of it. I don't care what the Knicks do. I don't care who the Knicks get back. It doesn't matter. Nobody on this team can replace what OG Anunoby does or his impact. They can try their hardest, but it will not happen. And during this stretch when OG is out, the Knicks are going to have to come together as a team, unify as a team, and get it done as a team. Next man up mentality has to show its face now more than ever before. And it starts with utilizing your bench and trusting your bench, but more importantly, expanding the rotation. We saw a little bit of that last night, especially with Preston Achiuwa. Now more than ever before, the Knicks will need Achiuwa to step up and step in for OG Anunoby. He was playing backup for him at some points in time during the season. So I definitely think right now, with us losing OG Anunoby, we don't know how long yet. We hope it's not for too long. But even if it's for 1 or 2 weeks, we're going to need somebody to fill in for him. And Preston Achiuwa makes the most sense. This is how severe this injury is. because depending on what updates we get about OG and what these MRI results say, it could lead the Knicks to either make a trade or do something else very significant. And this is what we're all waiting to see right now. I believe a trade was going to be made either way, but now with the OG Anunoby injury, it's even more certain. A trade will happen. Now we just have to wait and see what type of trade that's going to be and what the Knicks' response is to this situation. Because you got to figure, Achua will now be a prominent player for this rotation. But now you need a legitimate backup five for Karl Anthony Towns. And if Sims is not going to be that for you, if Huck Porty's not going to be that for you, somebody has to be. Remember this clearly. Leon never makes moves to hurt this team. When he makes any trades, it's always with this team in mind and to help us now and moving forward. So because of that, I'm going to put my faith in him and watch the magic happen. After what we saw last night with the NBA landscape changing with the Luka trade, anything is possible. Any trade is possible. Just continue to be patient and wait, because I promise you, a move is coming. But what about you guys? What do you think about the following reports indicating that Mitchell Robinson is pretty close to being cleared for full contact and for full practice? But what about this unfortunate news that we have with OG Anunoby, who last night injured his right foot on a non-contact injury and is now out for an indefinite amount of time? Let me know how you feel about that in the comment section below, guys, because honestly, I would love to hear from you. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and smash that like button, leave a comment below. And of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knick fans, take care of yourself, your families, and each other. Peace and love.